Thomas Toots the crows. All right. Keep it together. Okay. Thomas Toots the crows. I enjoyed it. No, I'm serious. I thought this episode was decent. No, wait! Don't hit that pause button or the X button or the back button. Keep your mouse away from him. Away. Let me explain. Let me go into notes. At first I was a little confused about what Angela said in the beginning. It was planting time on the island of Sodor. Planting time? Don't you mean harvest time? Mommy, what's a harvest? Right. I feel almost obligated to probably do a riff of this. I don't know. Because mostly all my notes are just a whole bunch of jokes brought in here. Like when Thomas... It's like, as soon as he arrives, it's like, oh, Jesus, Thomas. When we first see the sky full of crows, I couldn't help but feel obligated to say, we can't stop here! This is crow country! And then, and to be honest, the beginning of this episode, it's not that bad, really. I feel like it establishes something, and it's actually very well executed. And, of course, we have Thomas arriving at Farmer McColl's with a bunch of crows eating his seeds and everything. And, like, don't you have a scarecrow? I do, but it's in terrible shape. That scarecrow just had 2 days left till retirement, damn it! And of course, I thought Thomas had a pretty decent idea to use his whistle to, scare the crows away. Thomas, that is a nice idea, but, I do have a question. Doesn't Farmer McColl have his dog, Katie? Why can't he use her to scare away the crows? Or since she's a sheepdog, does she refuse to chase down anything besides sheep? Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry, I meant to say, SHEEP! Or I'll never forget this, Proteus, I saw his, little commentary video on this episode earlier this morning. By the way, his YouTube name is, Magic Lamp Studios. I'll never forget this, what he said. It's like, don't worry, I'll hoot and toot to scare away the crows. Or I can just alliterate and rhyme. That'll scare anybody away. That's good on you. Just check out his commentary. And for the most part, the beginning's not that bad. And, but then it starts to take a turn for the worst when Thomas has to actually chase the crows away. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is not that bad. Wait, Thomas, what are you doing? Wait, what are you... spoke too soon. So, Thomas begins to chase the crows away, and, now, keep in mind, at least his mind was sort of in the right place. He was doing his job, but, he, just went a little too overboard with it, and, his stupidity was showing, and big surprise. And then, of course, when he scares the crows off of, Den, I like that, little chuckle that Den makes. It's like, I'm sorry, Den, I'm chasing crows, gotta go! Chasing crows. See, even Den knows that Thomas is being completely stupid. This is actually pretty silly. And then, of course, Thomas comes across Gordon, who's having a new coat of paint, which is an interesting twist. But all I can say, like, as soon as Thomas puffs up, Gordon should be like, "Oh, hi, Thomas. Why are you staring at me like that? What do I have as it? The Crows! The Crows? What, do you mean that black one-hit wonder R&B group? What, are they coming back together? Oh, paint on my face!" And then we have Mustached Gordon, probably the only memorable moment in this episode. But throughout all that time, all I'm thinking is, Thomas, instead of just causing the birth of Gordolf Hitler, why don't you tell Gordon that there are crows on his boiler? Maybe he could help you. And again, you see, as soon as Thomas is backing up, you see his driver poking his head out. Insert beaten to death nitpick here, and moving on. Also, like, before it transitions away, and when Gordon says, "Oh, the indignity," I kind of like how the painter, how he's trying to hide the fact that he just created a Hitler innuendo, and he's like, "Oh, shit. Nobody saw that. I'm just sticking my brush up my ass now. Nothing to see here, nothing to see here." And then, of course, we come to the quarry, and at least we do get to see Mavis again. And but when she's shunting trucks, she basically backed up for no reason. Like, she just shunt the trucks, backs up, but then as soon as she sees Thomas, she pulls forward again. Why'd she need to back up? But then when I was seeing Mavis bumping the trucks, I'm like, "Oh, cool! Is there gonna be like a runaway?" Aww. And then of course, as soon as Thomas puffs away, Mavis is like, "Goodbye, Thomas." What the fuck just happened? And okay, another joke that I thought I could make. Like, whenever I see, like, the crows perching on something, or sorry about the nose. Like, when we see the crows, like, all over the field when Thomas comes back, all I'm thinking is, like, "We Canadian crows, we claim this field in the name of Quebec! Quebec, Quebec, Quebec!" Oh, God. This episode is... This is a riot, really. But then, of course, I'm sure a lot of people are questioning, why does it take that long to fix a goddamn scarecrow? I mean, couldn't you just use the straw Thomas delivered to mend it, damn it? Oh, wait, of course, if he did that, then there wouldn't be a story. Or lack thereof. And then I'm sure, like, as soon as Thomas is like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll spend the night here." And of course the crew is like, "What? What? He said what?" And then the fireman is like, "Wait, we're not supposed to question him. We're his slaves, only to be used as his hands, remember?" All right. And also, my friend Jimmy pointed this out, and technically, I'm not sure if that would really apply, but he questioned why Thomas would want to spend the night when midnight trains are using that track. Is that just an accident waiting to happen? Which is a good point, but I don't think it would necessarily apply too much to this episode, but that is a good point, but whatever. Another joke I would possibly make, if you look closely before we transition into morning, you'll see there's a light in the window. It's like, what was that? Oh, wait, that was just Thomas scaring the crows away. Then another whistle is heard. Oh, wait, that's just Thomas. And then, like, hours later, he's still awake hearing Thomas's whistle. And he's like, "Why do my crops have to be so delicious?" So, those are my notes, or my jokes, if you will. Um, Overall, this episode's a riot. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty good. Okay, I will say, but in all seriousness, even though I did laugh at a few points, the majority of it's still stupid. But like the first 2 minutes, it was actually really good. It established something, and it didn't like seem to be too idiotic. So yeah, the first two parts were pretty good. But as soon as Thomas is chasing the crows, it goes back to the stupid stuff that we're all accustomed to. But for the most part, I thought this episode was decent. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not necessarily spectacular either. I thought it was okay. I will say at least Thomas's head, it was at least in the right place with him wanting to help and chase the crows away. Like I said, I think it just went a little too overboard. And I sort of thought of this episode as Thomas kind of being like Jack when he was first introduced. Well, okay, not quite, but you get the idea of him always wanting to help, but it ends up in a disaster. So, again, it's not exactly like when Jack was first introduced, but you get the idea. But other than that, it's what you'd expect. It's repetitive, and honestly, I don't think we really learned anything. I don't think there was a moral. But you know what? Then again, it's sort of takes me back to this. You know, we have episodes like, for say, instance, Toby and the Flood. I don't think that taught us anything, but yet it presented us with a really cool adventure. So I don't think all episodes need to teach anything, but apparently I guess that's not the case with these new seasons. Apparently all shows that are targeted to kids need to have lessons. So I don't know. You take it for what it's worth. So but I'll never forget this. Somebody pointed out, like in one of my earlier reviews, that ponies teach kids lessons better than these engines. Which I will have to agree, because at least the lessons in ponies, they're subtle. But whatever, I'm getting ahead of myself. Overall, I found it to be decent. Sure, it's stupid, it has its flaws, but honestly, I think it's enjoyably stupid. So I can see why other people dislike it, and more power to you. But for me, I consider it like a guilty pleasure. It's silly, it's stupid, but it's enjoyably silly and stupid. It's short circuit type of silly. So Dan and Nuria Wixman, I thought they did a pretty good job writing. Sure, it's not spectacular or anything, but it's okay. Shut up, Watts. I know you like it too. Sorry. Does it have its flaws? Yes. But you know, when you compare it to the previous episodes in like season 15, this is a big ass improvement. And so I thought it got a few laughs out of me, and I can see why certain people don't like it. More power to you. But for me, it's enjoyably stupid, but at least it's not really cringe-worthy like other episodes like Ho Ho Snowman or Wonky Whistle or stuff like that. So I'm being nice. I'll give this episode a 3 out of 5, which I think is probably the highest I've scored in this season so far, which I doubt it will go any higher. So yeah, Thomas Toots the Crows, I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. Does it have its flaws? Of course, but it's enjoyably stupid. So yeah, take that for what it's worth, and I'll see you next time. Later.